welcome to Last Call Reacts, the Last Call channel. Welcome if you've never been. And if you have been, you're one of the OGs. Welcome back. Thank you for your support. Just to let you know, I drop a video once a week, roughly about 10, 15 minutes on something that's going on. And today's a little bit different. And on Friday, I try to do a live for a couple hours. So please like, share, subscribe, and join me. So let's get right into this, man. This is a little bit of a continuation. As you see here, it says Deadbeat Mentality 2. We did a Dead, which is a good channel, by the way. Deadbeat Mentality 2 here, because I just got to put it out here. We know who this is. A few weeks ago, this person came out, and I'm gonna not mention names or anything. I'm just gonna have this person in the background and not source all the pictures and images. This is actually one of the better ones of her. Normally, she's might be in very short shorts lately, or a very scantily clad top. And this is not a slam piece of this young individual. To the contrary, this is more to encourage people to get this young lady help. Now, in our families, man, you know, we all have messed up people around us, friends. So this is not to take away from this. As a matter of fact, it's more of a PSA to check on your loved ones, right? If they're not okay, if they are going out, if something's not right, offer some help. What does help look like? And this is the thing that we need to be concentrating on. Help is not donating a cash app and giving somebody money, because that could turn into enablement. You could enable what they're doing, setting them down the opposite path versus a steady path and a productive path that they need to go on. So a quick, slingshot for those of you who don't know. This is Umar Johnson's daughter, who I normally really don't cover, but in a lot of the channels that I frequent, this is a big topic, and a lot happened within the last 48 hours with this young lady. We found out maybe a couple months ago that she came out and wanted to connect with her father, and was met with a juvenile tirade, rant, embarrassing response from her quote unquote father, Umar Johnson. Now, there was a lot of judgment when she came out. She came out, man, two guns blazing, fire. This is what I want. This is why I'm doing this. People said they saw a lot of resemblance with the characteristics between her and Umar in terms of attitude. Some people would say clout seeking, but I like I said, this isn't a cloud. This is not a slam piece or anything like that. And what I wish for people to do, because the videos that I've seen, she's lost. We don't know what's going on with the mother. We don't know the particular upbringing that this person have. One thing we do know for sure is her supposedly supposed to be father, Umar, was not in her life. And for a lot of us, that could lead to bad things. It could lead anybody into bad things if you can't maneuver through some of the obstacles that you're given in life without proper guidance. Now the doubt is on if she had any proper guidance, not just from Umar, but maybe the mother as well. So she's out here. She appears to be homeless. She was doing some things. One thing I have to understand coming from an older generation is that, hey, man, if I'm going through stuff, I need to put the stuff down. Even I'm not a social media guy like that. So I would have to put the devices down and not record every aspect of my life when I need to be changing stuff. And a lot of that stuff is easier said than done. Even if you've been down a path of like substance abuse or just down in a real funk, not many people could tell you what might be right under your nose for the solution, right? And big ups and shout out to Danny's World. This is where I'm getting, which is obviously a tweet of Umar's daughter as well. But he seems to be up to date with everything that's Danny's World individual, and I've been looking up and down the channel. So recently, it looks like she doesn't have a place to stay. But beyond that, she just doesn't appear to be in her right state of mind. She gets into these rants. It's very evident that some sort of counseling, and not even just counseling, but some sort of medication is needed to keep her balanced. You know, I can't. I can't relate to this young world of being online and uh, exposing your whole life and your whole situation, especially when you're in a desolate um, or desperate situation as well. You know, so I think some piece of margin has to be given to that. On top of that, it's been getting a lot of coverage because I just saw one little thing on it, pressed on it, and now the algorithm is giving me a whole shitload of Umar's daughter stuff and Umar as well. KKC covered it this afternoon, and I believe is still on it. Lennon is covering aspects of this, but more interviewing other members of the family and other people that have some sort of relationship with Umar or had. Meanwhile, this is going on. So in the meantime, last night, um, she regained this social media presence during the last couple of weeks. I believe started a podcast, but we're led to believe that she doesn't have a place to stay, and she recorded herself going to her friends, getting rejected there. She needed to get cleaned up in some very uh, peculiar and disturbing things from her came out of that video. About the state that she was in, her state of cleanliness, and even for a young lady, I think that's she's 22, maybe 23. You care about the way that you present yourself, and in a very quick span, we're seeing a deterioration of even self-care for this individual. Right? She addressed some of the criticisms that her hair is done and she had some lashes and stuff, but doesn't mean that she has a place to stay. She could be couch hopping. Sounds like she has some individuals that she could somewhat rely on there, but not really. So within the last 24 hours, it was said that her account was hacked. And during this hacked time, um, it was reported that she had self-deleted. And so there was worry and spread about the internet and social media about that. She has since come on, and this is all very recent. And some of this information I got online and on YouTube and KKC, which I urge you to go back and check. He's got the latest information on this here. Um, it's from him, from the information he has, that is said not to be true at this time. Now, like I said, we all have some crazy stuff happening in our family. We have, I'm sure, loved ones and ones that we care about in the family, maybe just close friends that could be on the brink or struggling themselves. So it might appear to be some sort of sensationalism just to, broadcast. This is where I'm just keeping it real basic. I'm not going through all the footage. I'm not going through all the recordings where she says this. This is one of the more tamed ones, as we see here. She's in and out of frame. But even if you were to observe some of the actions of her recording, you could tell this person is just very much not okay. And that's not okay. My sense of responsibility is because I'm somewhat in this Umar sector. I made a couple videos about it. Damn, even I was on in the chat in Propane Oak Lane's video, and he was chatting about it a little bit. And he appealed to Umar and the grandfather, like, come get this young lady. Do so. It's within your means. If this is with the spaces that you run in, and this is what you do, and you want to make a presence, and this person is more or less, let's face it, man, she's kind of in the family business of social media and cash apping, right? If she didn't see that as an example from Umar, she probably wouldn't have went there to do all that stuff, to call on him. It was from her own mouth where she said the reason why she's taking this method to call him out is because she tried everything else, right? Now, we're not even seeing from a leadership standpoint. We're not even seeing from a kin standpoint somebody coming up and being like, you know what? I got to get her. I got to get her. I got to do something just to make sure she's safe. She's obviously appears to be a threat to herself by not making good decisions, by putting out her locations, by telling people to come see her, to come meet her, to give her this and that. You know, everybody, you know as well as I do, it just takes the wrong one to use that information for their advantage. And like I'm saying, or I'm putting the question out there, what do you do? What do you do to give this person help? Because I don't think opening up a Cash App or PayPal or something like that and just sending her money to go from one spot to another spot, spending it frivolously, wandering around aimlessly without a stable mind. Not that it's not even a good look, but it's just not safe for a young lady or a person, a human being in general. And you would think the Prince of Pan-Africanism cares about black people, school for black boys, soon to have a integrated with black girls, and this is the name of this. This would be the time for you to shine. This is the prime opportunity to be the knight in shining armor. Would it wipe the slate clean from all your misdeeds, wrongdoings, and manipulations? Probably not completely, but I'll tell you what, it'll set you up and send you on the right path. Maybe people might start looking at you with a little bit of optimism based on how you deal with this. This is crazy. I'd like to hear what you got to say in the comments, man. And like I'm saying, this is not a slam piece towards this individual. This is a concern piece, man. This is a PSA. What do we do with this? You know, let's try to keep up to date with the information, with what's going on. The reason why I'm showing this video is just, humanize her. This is the person that we have. We're talking about her in the background. There are a lot of images. She's constantly on the social media, and it's just not a good look. Mom, you need to get her. Dad, you need to man the fuck up, you deadbeat. This is your blood. Jamal, who loves the camera so much and loves to correct and do everything that's going on, you should be on here, yo. But this is what you tell what manhood is and what leadership is when people step up in time of need, or at least to do the right thing, or force people to do the right thing. And they, as far as I know, they haven't done that yet, and they need to. And this is not just for this young lady. This is for anybody that needs help before it goes too late. I've had people in my life that I've lost. The worst feeling is, man, what could I have done to prevent that? Is it something that I did to provoke this? And not blaming yourself, but could you have been a better friend? Could you have been a better parent? Could you just be a better influence? What are we going to do, y'all? I certainly would like to know. This is just a follow-up to the video that I put out there previously called Dead Beat Mentality. There really is a channel called Dead Meat. It's a horror website that I like. Goes through movies and stuff. But besides that, what do we do? This is the last call, man. I'd really appreciate if you liked, shared, and subscribed. Please help me get my numbers up. I'm trying to do this thing. This is my video this week. Try to do about a 15-minute, a little bit of a presentation and keep up for you guys. And I go live on Fridays at about 9 o'clock. And we're probably going to have a lot of stuff to talk about at 9. And check out my shorts. Check out my channel. I dig in the crates for you guys. As a matter of fact, I think it's time that I do that when I get off here too, man. So please, let us know what's up. Check on your own. But it doesn't hurt to extend a hand and help a solution versus add to the problem. Step up, Umar. You little bitch. This is the last call. Thanks for checking me out, man.